on another episode of American Invasion. Well, this war with Iran seems a lot similar to what happened back in 2002 when we invaded Afghanistan. Well, you know, for those of you who don't know, right? We've been at war in the Middle East for over 20 years because of a country, if you want to call it that we have alliance with them, and the Bible says apparently that we have to defend these people, and if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be at war, because they're so fixated in wanting to control the Middle East, want to be the number one religion, and this is getting out of hand. And I think people need to be more aware now of what's really going on, that we are being occupied. Absolutely. Our government is being controlled by a foreign entity. For those of you who don't know, Zionism, to say the least. And it's gotten out of hand. And people need to be aware of what's going on, because we don't want to send any of our American soldiers into a war that does not benefit us. It does not benefit America. This only benefits one group of people, one country, and that is not us, and it's definitely not Iran. So, although I don't support Iran, I could care less about them. I care more about our American citizens. That's who I care about. I don't care about anybody else. I don't care about nobody's war. It doesn't matter to me. You want to go conquer, you want to do this and that, go ahead. Just don't come and pull that over here. Because if you do, then, we have weapons too. But here's the problem, that we're exposing ourselves and we're giving all of our weapons, all of our ammunition, all of everything that we have and that we know are secrets to somebody else, so that, they could benefit. We don't benefit off this war at all. This war does not benefit Americans at all. If anything, it's costing us money. And then, we give this group of people $3.8 billion a year, and for what? You have American citizens that struggle every day, and we could use that money for us, but now we're using money to fund a war that has nothing to do with us again. This goes back to the clean break report. Why did we get involved in Syria and Lebanon, Libya, Afghanistan, Iraq, get involved, giving money to Egypt, Jordan, and all of these Middle Eastern countries. We have no business. Even with Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, all of that, we have no business in any of this. Yeah, I get it. This is a strategic reason for it. But at this point, this strategic reason and everything that's going on does not benefit us at all. Look, they got all of these Middle Eastern countries, our allies, apparently, the ones that we're supposed to take care of. We give them money, we give them protection, so that we can set up our military bases there. Hey, thanks to Iran, well, not even thanks to Iran, thanks to that other country, man. I'll say it. Thanks to Israel, we've given up all of our benefits. We have all of these countries now that look at us, America, as hey, we allow you to have these military bases so that you can protect us, and you're not doing that. You're protecting somebody else, and rightfully so. These other countries should be upset, because there's only one country that's benefiting from all of this, and it ain't us. It's Israel. So we need to actually begin to realize, hey, what? Maybe this isn't for us. Right now, look at everything that's happening, and then the media is trying to convince us that it's Iran, that they chant death to America. They don't chant death to Americans. They chant death to the government. That, for those of you who don't know, they are feeding us lies, and they've been feeding us lies since back, even before 1963. I say 1963 because that was in November 1963, that was when we had our last real president, John F. Kennedy. He was our real last president. After that, we've been occupied. The United States has been occupied. And it's crazy. It's insane that people have no clue what's going on. So for those of you who, I know there's people who don't know what's going on, but there's a war of attrition going on right now. That Iran doesn't need to beat us in a military war. They need to beat us in an economic war. And that's what they're doing right now. They got us all fighting, arguing with each other. Again, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, on those, it's absurd, man. It's like, what do you think? Like Bahrain and all of these oils, again attacked for no reason. The embassies again attacked for no reason. This is strategy. These guys are trying to. Iran is attacking us, attacking our embassies, our bases, everything, so that it's not towards these countries, but it's affecting us. And these guys end up arguing with us, saying, "Hey, where's our protection? It's costing us money." These are look. Saudi Arabia is what? 90% is tourists. These people make their money out of tourists. These aren't citizens, really. So they're upset because they're losing a lot of money because of this war, and also because the United States is supposed to be protecting these Middle Eastern countries, and they're not. Iran is actually doing a good job, exposing us. I don't want to say us, but that's what's going on. All Iran needs to do is endure. This is like the Game of Thrones with Jaime Lannister and the fish. The blackfish. He just needed 3 years of the war to keep going, and he has enough provision to make it last. But the Lannisters didn't. But hey, that's just one example. This is what's going on right now. So people really need to be aware of what's happening, because we're not benefiting off of this right now. And then they deployed what, 5,000 more Navy and Marines. Hey, it's a matter of time. It's sad to say, it's a matter of time that we will have to put boots on the ground in Iran, and it's going to be difficult. Look what happened in Iraq, Afghanistan. This thing lasted for over 20 years, and we didn't benefit off of this. What happened to the soldiers? They died for nothing, in other words, and it's sad to say, but because we didn't win anything there. We left everything. We left everything behind. We left our weapons. We left our military vehicles, everything. So, and although I can say that I voted for Donald Trump. Well, I didn't vote, but I definitely supported him. But I supported him because of immigration. He campaigned on no more wars. And sad to say that he went back on his word, But again, you can't go and say, "Hey, I told you so." We all have that one friend that he does stupid things, ridiculous things that we don't agree with. But hey, we still rock with him. We still have him around because there's certain things that we like about him, and we just ignore the stupidity. This is one of those things, because people want to attack the MAGA supporters. Hey, look at you supported Donald Trump. How's it feel now? Look, he put us in a war. Hey, again, we didn't agree to these ridiculous things that he's doing right now. We agreed on other things that he campaigned on. But again, he's one of those people that we like certain things about him, but other things we don't. And we all have a friend like that. We all have somebody that we know that we don't like 100%, but we do agree with certain things with him. But again, this is what we are right now. But we need to be aware that Zionism it's absolutely, it has invaded our country, and we need to just stop getting involved in all of these wars in the Middle East. And Benjamin Netanyahu, whether he's dead or not, really doesn't matter. We just need to stop supporting these people. Let them take care of themselves. Let them defend themselves. We don't want no parts of it. So, America first. That is it. Forget everybody else. Everybody fend for themselves. I don't care what Russia does. I don't care what Ukraine does. I don't care what China does. India. Everybody stay in their lane. Don't mess with us. Everybody knows we hold weight. Just stay away from us and we'll stay away from you. You know, but again, people need to be aware of what's going on. We should not be in this war. We shouldn't support any of this, you know, especially, you know, with Israel, what they've done in Gaza to the Palestinians. Yeah, it's absurd, you know. We're not here to support a genocide. And it's over. We need to just cut our losses and, you know, figure out a way to end this war before it gets really bad, because it's only going to affect the American citizens. So, you know, we need to unite together and, you know, chant America first above anything and forget everything else. This isn't about Republicans. This is not about Democrats. This is about us working together and moving America forward, because that's what matters. That's what matters. Americans, American citizens, not foreigners, not anybody else. We don't care about none of that. Just America. We don't want to support no wars. We don't want to go to war. We don't want to argue. We don't want to fight. And we definitely do not want people in our country that don't belong here. Whether it being terrorists, whether it being criminals, whether it being foreigners, whether it's immigrants, doesn't matter. Just everybody go back home. Everybody stay in their lane and we'll stay in ours.